Hey everyone, I hope you're doing great today. In today's video, I'm going to share 5 easy tips to write better work emails. Throughout the pandemic, we've had to reduce our face-to-face conversations, and this has resulted in us relying on email more than ever. While email can be effective and beneficial, it can also be very frustrating to use. Email is now the standard for workplace communication, and whether we like it or not, it's here to stay. With so many hours spent managing our inbox, it is now more important than ever to make sure that we're using email as an effective tool and not let it overwhelm our day or our life. Here are 5 easy tips to help you communicate more effectively with email. 1. Only hit send if you need to. 2. One subject line, one subject. 3. Be direct with what you want. 4. Minimize the total email chain, not the individual email. And finally, 5, write, edit again, and then send. On to number 1, only hit send if you actually need to. With many of us getting overwhelmed with emails every single day, we must do our best to try to decrease the total number of unnecessary emails that are out in the world. Before sending or replying to an email, ask yourself, is it actually necessary? If it isn't, then don't send. And if it is necessary, is email the best medium for it? Sometimes it can be way easier, more efficient, and more clear to just pick up a phone, call someone, and then after the phone call, you can always send a follow-up email summarizing what you decided. So although some emails are vital, some aren't. If you get an email and don't need to respond, don't. Item number 2, one subject line, one subject. The most frustrating part about email isn't the sheer number of them. It's trying to find that one crucial piece of information that's buried in a completely unrelated topic in an entire other email chain. So it's critical whenever you're sending an email, keep one topic, one subject per email. If you need to discuss another subject, then send another email and explain that in the subject line. Even though this may take a few more minutes in the meantime, in the future, you'll save hours when you're trying to find that information or when someone else is looking for it. Item number 3, be direct with what you want. In emails, let the recipients know what answers are required, what actions must be taken, and when they are due. And if no response is necessary at all, tell them that. Examples of this are questions that need answered and by who, action items that need to be performed and by when, and if no response is necessary, simply just say, no need to respond. An example of a good email is the following. Hi Bob, please see the attached PDF and return a signed copy by Thursday at the latest. If you have any questions, please give me a call and we can discuss further. This is much better than the often overused thoughts. Item number 4, minimize the total email chain, not the individual email. We tend to get overwhelmed with the endless sea of emails. And because of this, we try to spend as little time and effort as possible responding to each one. And although this may save us time immediately, it'll cost us much more time in the future. We need to try to minimize the total number of emails that are sent back and forth, and not worry as much about how long it takes to write a single individual email. For example, if we tried to respond to a single email as fast as possible, we'd put in just the bare minimum amount of time, effort, and thought in order to hit send and get it off into the other person's hands. The downside to this is that it worsens the situation if the email is not clear and concise enough for the recipient to know what they need to do. If they do not have all the information they need, this will result in them spending more time deciphering what little information you gave them, and it'll also result in more emails back and forth trying to sort that out. Instead, if we focus on trying to minimize the entire email chain, we can save time over the entire conversation. To minimize the entire email chain, we need to make sure we answer all of the potential questions that the recipient might have. We can achieve this by explaining what tasks they need to do and why. When others understand why we're trying to achieve something, they can then better interpret our intentions and be able to make better decisions on their own. An individual email may take more time this way. but it'll save countless emails back and forth and hours in the long run. On to item number 5, write, edit again, and then send. For many of us, the most challenging part of writing is proofreading and editing. So naturally, we want to hit send and walk away as soon as that first draft is completed. However, rushing to hit send often leads to missing information and mistakes. Sometimes these mistakes are minor, like a grammar or spelling mistake, but sometimes they are significant and can cause damage to the recipient. This major error can be coming across as rude, misspelling their name. Please make sure you always spell their name correctly. Or it could be conveying the wrong information. Whatever you do, avoid rushing to respond to an email. For editing an email effectively, or any writing for that matter, it will take multiple revisions. Write the first draft, give it a proofread, give it that initial edit, then take a 5-minute break. Go for a walk to the cooler or go talk to someone else. Then come back and do it again. Keep on repeating this process until you can read the entire content twice without having to change anything. And if it's an important email, read it out loud or have a coworker also give it a proofread. Well, that's my 5 easy tips for writing better work emails. Let's improve our world of emails one message at a time. Thanks for watching, and if your team struggles with communication, please forward this video on to them so that we can all get a little better and communicate a little clearer. Thanks.